Well, congratulations to South Africa, which is finally beginning to leverage a brilliant concept that they entered into 13 years ago. The Turkey-South Africa binational agreement is an effort to improve economic ties between South Africa and Turkey, something that I've been talking about for nigh on 2 decades now, telling people that Turkey would become a rising influencer and power actor in economics across Africa and also the Middle East. But my focus, of course, on Africa. I've been telling people that for 2 decades. And for the past 10, 15 years, I've been telling people that Turkey's there. And most people have ignored that and not paid attention to it. Now, to their credit, South Africa's ANC government noticed this. And in 2012, they moved to have a binational commission, kind of like the U.S. and South Africa binational commission, which was inaugurated back in the mid-1990s, shortly after the ANC took over. And this was a brilliant move. The relations between the U.S. and South Africa were strong at the time, and that helped cement it. In fact, Vice President Al Gore was at the very first one, if I recall correctly, or maybe it's the second one, but it had a lot of importance. Now, that binational commission seems to have gone by the wayside. Not much has been done with it. I can't even find a record of it the past several years. But the Turkey one, here's the problem. They're doing this, they're telling the press today, because they're trying to diversify their exports from the U.S. to other countries because of President Trump's tariffs, but this isn't going to solve that problem. You see, Turkey is interested in business opportunities, in particular where they can ship their industrial goods and agricultural products. South Africa has plenty of agricultural products. It doesn't need Turkey's agricultural products. South Africa's deindustrialization is a major problem. Turkey shipping finished industrial goods to South Africa is not going to improve the employment climate in South Africa. It's also not going to improve the situation for the deindustrialization. It's simply going to contribute to it. While I think it's a fantastic idea for South Africa and Turkey to work together, this belated 13 years long before they actually activated. It wasn't until the 15th of October 2025 that this was actually put into play. And so they've lost a decade and a half of time that could have been used productively to build economic ties. But see, this is the modus operandi of the African National Congress. They ignore problems, and then they metastasize and they have to deal with it. That's not leadership, that's reaction. And this is a major problem with the African National Congress. Quite frankly, folks, they're simply not up to the task of governing South Africa. They have a dearth of leadership. They seldom plan ahead. Most of their future planning efforts are to ingratiate and enrich people based on skin color or patronage networks, not based on what's best for the country or the entire population. And if they don't have a chance to make something of it, to get something out of it, they don't seem to put time into it. And this is a perfect example of it. What has happened with this relationship with Turkey? It's long been neglected. While South Africa sat on the sidelines with this 13 years before they made an effort to make this thing come to fruition, for whatever reasons, whether it's Turkey's fault or South Africa's fault, it really isn't germane. The relationship with the U.S. was started almost instantaneously after the end of apartheid. Turkey should have had a relationship 20 years ago with South Africa. But Somalia, in the meantime, has a massive relationship with Turkey and with the UAE, Emirates. And Ethiopia has had a now long-established, at least decade and a half relationship with Turkey, which has been very beneficial for Ethiopia, helping it with foreign direct investment, also bringing products in the country that Ethiopians couldn't produce. And South Africans are finally getting aboard. But 13 squandered years. People like that don't deserve to be in power. People who do not lead should step aside. It's time for voters in South Africa to punish the ANC for not doing its job or hold it accountable. If you can hold them accountable, that's great. But how are you going to hold the ANC accountable? They don't seem to care. This government of national unity isn't a government of national unity. It's the ANC-led government with a veneer of cooperation and coalition. So you decide, South Africa. Did the director of international relations cooperation or the trade ministry wait too long, 13 years, to build these ties with Turkey? Or am I just being overly sensitive? You decide, South Africa. Zanzi. Cheers.